Okay, John, so this is the start of your garden. When we're looking at the date on there was late summer 1998, and you can see obviously looking down the garden, and then this one's actually looking
back up it.
Looking back up the garden.
So this is the summer of 1998, and with every single garden that I actually create, or that Cumbria Gardens creates, I actually make a journal of it, because people like to look back, because it's very easy to forget the hard work and sheer sweat, blood and tears that goes into some of the landscapes that you create. Now here's one of me looking a bit like Mr. McGregor out of the Flopsy Bunnies. That's what everybody else says anyway. I looked old before I got started.
Beautiful.
Here we are 6 months later, looking down where the arbour now is in the garden. Now that, as we were talking before, about how things evolve, that is actually the second summer after the landscape was so-called completed. In other words, all the earth moving and stone moving and digging was done. The plants are in, but as you can see, it doesn't look anything like what we've got today, and that's where the evolution comes in.
Because you say you've removed this buddleia here, and now you've got bamboo growing up here, haven't you?
That's
and
right.
The pond, you've also got a waterfall coming down here.
That's correct. And the little stick you can see here, that's actually the big weeping willow, which is now the best part of 35 feet high.
Huge, there it is. Yeah, fantastic.
Here's the lining of the pond.
Wow, that was quite a job doing that.
Yeah, well, it was, there was some serious sweat went into that, along with a few friends that helped me dig it out. Take a couple of hours after tea each night, and that picture shows me sitting in the bottom of the hole, just to give idea of some sort of scale, because that is actually 6 feet deep. People do actually ask, why have I created the pond so deep? Well, the idea was to actually breed koi's in it, and we have had some success in it. But one thing you have to remember when you're actually creating a pond, the deeper the water, the easier it is to keep the water balanced. The shallower it is, the more the light can get right down to the bottom and cause all sorts of problems. It's much easier to keep a pond 6 foot deep in good order rather than one that's only 18 inches.
Right. September 2000.
And there's a view looking down from the house itself.
Right.
There's the garden, the big hole for the pond.
And I suppose it's where we're in the summer house now. That's where that's positioned now.
That's actually about halfway down the garden. That is actually just at the top, at the highest point of the garden. We're actually down below that, about 30 feet below that.
Okay. And there's your wife Caroline making herself useful, carrying down some more of the materials. And these are some of the lads that have been helping you out to create the garden. There's you, another chap.
Here was a typical Cumbrian day. Nice and wet, everybody's soaked, everybody's happy, covered in mud. And there we are. This is actually digging out what we know as the dragon pool, which is actually now straight opposite us.
Which is a feature that you've got right there. And the dragon's head there. And these are, I can see more of the stonework, detailed stonework that's gone on there.
Now originally, one thing I wanted to try was to actually breed some ornamental ducks on the pond. This was its second, third and fourth year, and as you can see we did have some success, and we have actually got here some beautiful mandarins and Carolina wood ducks, which were very popular with all the neighbours' children. They used to love coming and feeding the birds, and they didn't even have to go to Grange Pond, they could come here and do it. The only thing you have to remember if you're going to keep water birds is you can't have anything in the pond, they will just eat it.
Right. Ah, there's the formation now, the waterfall that we've filmed.
And with all waterfalls that I create, if you're going to do a naturalistic pool, you must not be able to tell where the waterfall actually is, other than the fact that there's moss on the stone where the water's been running down. When you've turned the waterfall off, it mustn't be obvious. It just, as you can see here, the stonework just runs right round, and there's no obvious boundary. We haven't dug out a stream or anything like that, so that when it is actually off, you can't tell where the water actually runs to.
Right, and that's with it turned off. You can almost like see the immature garden to the mature garden it is today.
That's right. Yes, I mean these photographs now. There's nothing in this book over anything up 6 years old. There's nothing in here for the last 6 years. But well, that's it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for that.